I got onto the plane in Hong Kong, hoping that this is the right plane. Yeah. And here I am. I never saw myself working in trades ever. When I was in school, I always wanted to wear a suit and a tie, going to the work.
Take a briefcase and
9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, now I don't even think that I want to be a guy who works in an office 9 to 5, be in a suit and tie, drives a Mercedes that's owned by somebody else. I do not want to be that guy anymore.
Come on, come on.
Hello, my name is Charlie Karomi, and apart from being drop-dead gorgeous and incredibly talented, I am also an immigrant. You see, in 2022, I packed up my bags and left my home country of Kenya to a country I'd never been to before. For adventure, for opportunity, for meh, why not? But my story is not unique. You see, every single year, tons of people immigrate to new countries to start new lives, just like me. That means tons of new exciting stories are out there. This is a place where you'll get to listen to some of them. This is Vibes and Visas.
Hey, welcome to Vibes and Visas, that show where immigrants, explorers, adventurers come through to talk about their exciting exploits. I'm your host, C to the K, that is Charlie Karomi. Now, one of the most common and famous Kenyan phrases of the past decade is Vindu Vichenjanga, a contemporary saying from the Luhya community that basically means things change. And when an immigrant moves to a brand new country, they have to be able to adapt and deal with the things not being the same, because Vindu Vichenjanga. Now, one of the biggest changes that we deal with as immigrants is work and career opportunities. Back home, the most sought after careers are lawyer, doctor, business executive, you know, the classic ones. But did you know that in many developed countries, working in trades is currently one of the most sought after and lucrative sectors? I'm talking plumbers, electricians, carpenters, mechanics, those manual labor jobs that require practical training and a highly specific skill set. Oh, those are hot cakes right now. You can't imagine. Now, today on Vibes and Visas, we have a young man who's training and working in the trades, and he's here to tell us about his life, to tell us about him moving to Canada and those big bucks he's currently securing on a daily. Ladies and gents, it's Karan! How you doing, man?
Good.
From that, how you doing, Karan?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Welcome to Vibes and Visas. Yo, where are you from, by the way? Because so far, we've only had Kenyans on Vibes and Visas. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
You're from India. How do they say hello in India? Teach me.
Kaise ho, that means hello in India.
You just call me what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I should have thought.
Tell me that again. How do you say it?
Kaise
ho.
That means how are you? Hello, how are you?
Okay. Kaise ho, my brothers and sisters. It sounds, you heard it.
Sounds dope.
It's like,
yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 languages.
So English,
Hindi, and Gujarati. And I also speak a little bit of Rajasthani, but that's just kind of sort of a dialect. It's not a language.
Okay.
So, yeah, you could say 3.5.
You know, a lot of people, me included, don't know how many languages are actually spoken in India.
Right.
We assume it's just Hindi.
Right.
How many languages are there?
So we have lots of states, and every state has their own language. Mm-hmm. But Hindi is in, like most of the state, Hindi is like quite common language. So if you move from, let's say, from here to Ottawa, you will speak Hindi and they will understand it. Okay. But they still have their own language.
Okay.
So
I guess it's the same for Kenya. We have tons of languages. We have English, of course, as the language of instruction in schools, but we have Swahili that you can speak everywhere. So that's Hindi for you guys. Like Hindi is like your Swahili. It's spoken everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we're learning a little bit. But today, ladies and gents, today is an episode about learning because, as I told you, trades are a big thing in parts like these. And you're in trades. What do you do?
I'm a plumber. I'm working towards getting my license as a plumber.
As a plumber. And this is after, ladies and gents, he'll tell us his story about how he made his way to plumbing. And it's not a joke how much money and how much job security, I guess, you can make in the trades.
That is correct.
And we'll get into that. But first things first, on Vibes and Visas, so happy to have you on the show, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First things first, I have to ask you the question that we always ask. Why, Karan, why did you come here to Canada?
So, when I finished my BBA back home in India.
What's BBA?
It's a Bachelor of Business Administration. So when I finished that, I wanted to, and my brother was here. And my brother said, hey, if you want to come over here, you can, there are quite a few opportunities. So I said, okay, sounds good. And I went online and I kind of read about Canada. So one, to get further my studies. And second, I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the other part of the world.
Okay, studies and travel.
Travel.
Okay.
And because I knew that there's something more out there and I wanted to see.
Well, the prospects in India, you've lived in India your whole life.
That's correct.
Right? It's not, sometimes that's the thing. When you grow up in a place, you're like, am I going to grow up and just, and this is it. Like this is it. You feel the need to go on adventures.
That is correct.
And this was your adventure.
That is correct.
Okay, nice. I'm loving the story so far. So, booking the flights and everything. Coming over to Canada isn't exactly cheap, is it?
No, it's not. It's not cheap at all.
Tell me about it.
And so when we decided that, I'm going to be coming over here, we did take a little bit of bank loans and stuff to accommodate the tickets and school tuitions and stuff.
School visas.
And like all those travel agencies that books your flights and stuff like that, right? So they have their own fees and stuff like that. So yeah, my family did have to take a little bit of loan. We also took a loan on our family land back home. So that so it wasn't easy, but somehow my parents managed it,
because they believed, they heard what you're trying to do, and they saw that this boy is serious. He's really invested in this. And they invested. That's really nice for them to invest in. I guess in Kenya, what usually happens, there are things we call harambes. Have you ever heard the word harambe?
I have heard it.
No.
I have heard it.
How do you know the word harambe? Have you been to Kenya?
No. My friends are in Kenya.
How do you know people in Kenya?
Well, I went to school with them in India. And they're in Kenya right now.
Oh, nice. So you've heard the word harambe.
Yeah.
So usually when kids are like going abroad for studies, guys come together. So it's like 50, 100, 200 guys. It's going like, oh, hey, I have $2. I have this. So yeah, I guess it's a bit, it's challenging to set all that up. But in the end, as long as the kid gets to the school, I guess it's all worth it in the end.
It is.
So your parents have been supportive the entire way through.
That is correct.
Okay, so you left India. What year was this?
2016.
2016. A lifetime ago. That's what?
I think it was like 6.5, 7 years ago.
6.5, 7 years ago. Have you been back since, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Stop, bro! Since 2016.
I know.
They've probably built like 50 million new roads. You will not recognize it.
Trust me. I know it's totally different back home now when I left, and I'm really excited to see, and hopefully I'll be joining my family pretty soon here.
Oh, nice. Oh, wait, they're coming or you're going?
I'm visiting there.
You're visiting.
My sister's getting married, so. Yeah.
welcome. It's a song we sing back in Kenya. You go like, welcome. I'll teach you that. Don't even worry. I got you. So when you go back, where's the wedding? What city?
It's in Gujarat.
It's in Gujarat. We're going to the wedding. That's going to be an episode of Vibes and Visas. It's going to be us at the wedding. Exciting stuff. So you're going, is it this year?
This year.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I'm trying to trace you from 2016, Wheels Up. How did the flight go? What were your connections?
Ahmedabad International Airport. And from there I flew into New Delhi. And then from New Delhi to Hong Kong. And then in Hong Kong I had 20-hour layover. Yep. And from Hong Kong to Vancouver. And from Vancouver, I had to take ferry for Vancouver Island.
End to end, how long did it, like since you said bye to the folks, how long did it take end to end?
I would say it was at least a couple of days.
Bro.
Yeah.
That was a journey, my guy.
At least a couple of days, yeah, at least, yeah.
And I thought I had it rough because I did Nairobi to Paris, then Paris to Vancouver, then Vancouver. Because my wife had been here, so I knew like it was like an island separately.
Yeah.
So I had connecting flights all the way to the airport.
Right.
So I didn't have to take I had a soft landing, my guy. And it took me, I think, a total of 27 hours. And I was like, oh my God, that's so many. Bruh, you are at least there for 40 hours at least.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yo!
Yeah, if you take into consideration about 20 hours
layover. Yeah. And also the flight Hong Kong to Vancouver, it's not a short flight, is it?
No, it was a long flight, and it was my first time leaving the house. My English wasn't so strong.
But you over here speaking English like a full-blown Canadian. Your English wasn't strong?
No, at that time it wasn't. Now I've learned and I observed people like how they talk and what words do they use in what sentence and how they mean it. I got onto the plane in Hong Kong hoping that this is the right plane. Yeah. And here I am.
And hey, somehow you didn't end up in like Australia. You ended up in Vancouver.
That is correct.
And this is you with all your luggage, like everything.
I had 2 heavy suitcases, dude. It was, yeah.
What was your living situation when you got here? Like, where were you going? Because NIC doesn't have hostels.
No. But they do have a program that's called a host stay. So in that you have to live with the Canadian family.
Yeah, my wife did that rent as well. Yeah, the homestay.
Homestay. And so I did that for a couple months, and then I made a few friends at school, and we all got together and we got our own place. Yeah, so we shared everything, and you know, it became a lot more cheaper, a lot more affordable, because as a student,
fun.
Exactly, 100%. And fun is the only thing I remember. Right? And so
as a student, things are expensive. Homestay is really nice, but it's really a bit expensive. Yeah, it's a bit expensive.
It is, because I think I don't know about other students, but I was only allowed to work 20 hours when I was in school.
Yeah.
So, and you have to manage within 20 hours, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have to manage like whatever money you're getting to be enough for homestay.
Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes the books do not balance.
No, sometimes it does not.
So you linked up with friends of yours, got a house. How big was the house? How small was it? Was it like a cramped situation, or was it a nice?
No, it wasn't cramped situation. I was lucky enough. We were 5 roommates, and we had a house big enough that had 5 bedrooms in it, 3 upstairs, 2 downstairs. And I know, and it's really there's a really funny story behind it too, and really interesting story.
Tell us.
So when I first got here in Courtney, I lived in Kona hostel for a couple nights, and on 3rd day I was like, okay, I think it's time to, because it was costing me money. It wasn't a lot back then, but when you're brand new to the country, it's a lot.
Yeah, because you only have your money from back home, and that goes quick.
Yeah, and it goes quick, right? So I was walking with my 2 heavy suitcases, and a car stopped, and really nice older couple, and they were like, "Hey, young man, do you need a ride? Where are you going?" So Yeah, I know. I think it was,
Canadians, eh?
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, young man, where are you going? Do you need a ride? And I was really skeptical at first. I was like, should I get in this car? Like, am I going to get murdered?
This looks like a kidnapping.
Yeah. Am I going to get murdered? Because I've seen lots of movies, But no, that wasn't the case. And they were really nice. We kind of talked. We kind of exchanged numbers. And they were like, hey, do you have a place to live? And I said, no, I haven't figured out that thing yet, but I'm going to go to college, ask them if they have anything available for a homestay or situation kind of thing. And they gave me their number that, hey, if you cannot find anything until 5 p.m., call us. We'll come and get you. Right?
Oh.
And that was so sweet. I almost cried. And I was like, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you very much. And I tried my best to find a place on that same day, but I couldn't. I was, and I did not want to call them. I did not want to call them because I did not want to give them trouble.
Yeah.
Because
they've already been so kind.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I didn't want to sleep on a bench either with my luggage and stuff like that.
True,
right?
Yeah.
And so I called them at 5 o'clock. At 5:10, they were there. They picked me up. They took me to their house. They cooked me dinner. They let me stay at their place for 20 days until I figured out my living situation through college for homestay. They didn't ask me for rent. They didn't ask me for anything. And I helped them around their yard work and, cleaning car and, mowing lawn and stuff like that. So I did that for 20 days. And after 20 days, I got a house through school. And I stayed in that house as a homestay for a month. And a month later, the gentleman, he knocked on my door and he said, hey, Karan. And this is the same person who gave me a ride to college. And he's like, hey, Karan, what are you up to today? And I was like, well, nothing. I'm just going to, just relax, watch a movie, get some homework done. And he said, okay, let's go for a drive. So I was like, okay, sounds good. Mm-hmm. I got ready and,
Yeah.
And so he took me to this house. And he's showing me around like, hey, this is a nice house. What do you think? I said, this is a huge house. This is really big. And they were like, yeah, if you want to stay, you can stay here. This is for you. My son just bought this house and, he will rent it out to you. You don't have to worry about anywhere to,
Wait, was this a 5-bedroom place?
Yeah. Yeah. World is really generous. There are some really kind people out there.
Do you still talk to those guys?
I consider them my second parents.
Yeah.
Because they have done lots and lots for me.
Do you want to say I feel like we have to say their names just to thank them.
Yeah. Neil and MJ, Mary Jane, thanks a lot. Whatever I am today in this country is because of you. Because you gave me a ride and you helped me a lot to settle down in this country. And they went as far as they bought pots and pans for my kitchen.
Aye. Come on, Neil and MJ for the win. They're driving down a street. They see a kid with bags and they just go like, yo, that looks like someone who can help. And they help you.
That's
even
correct.
Find your help. Rah.
They also gave me a bike to go back and forth to school.
Because now you don't have to wait for the bus. Come on.
They were so kind. They were really kind, and I'm still in contact with them.
Yeah.
I just stopped by their place just like a couple days ago here, and they're still kind. They're still loving people.
God bless them.
Amazing people.
No, these guys, the blessings that they receive on a daily because of you, because of the good things that they do. Can't even imagine. That's beautiful. I think, Karan, I feel like we should end that part 1 of your interview there because my heart is warm. It's nice and warm. I'm feeling nice and light and warm. I want us to end part 1 there. And then when we come back later, we need to talk about how you went from studying international business management or global business management. How you went from that, because you're on your way to becoming a business exec.
That is correct.
And then we got to going into the trades and being a plumber. I need to understand what changed, because vindu vichenjanga. Can you try say that?
Windu? How do you say that?
Vindu vinchenjanga.
Windu vichenjanga. Is this right?
That's the one.
I'm a quick learner.
You're a quick learner. Ladies and gents, it's Karan on Vibes and Visas. We will be right back.
And now my love for you is so strong.